5. And the Wizards still won late with the 21-6 run as we welcome everybody to Warriors Post-Game Live presented by Toyota with the Hall of Famer Chris Mullin, NBA champ and former Warrior Darrell Wright and Bonte Hill. And this game was right there. Felt like it was over. Mully went to the restroom. They're in control. We're thinking about who we're going to interview. And the Warriors blow it late with some bad shooting and some poor defense, Darrell.
Yeah, I thought it was some tough shots, a lot of missed shots. And then Russ, he got it going. He knew he had to get 4 points for that triple-double, and he started attacking. That was a tough foul right there on Draymond. I think the game really turned after that foul.
Big-time game of runs. The Wizards got up early. The Warriors built a double-digit lead. But the last run was made by Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal. And a big determining factor was Draymond Green fouling out.
Yeah, fouling out with 2:44 left. As you see this play, the Warriors get the steal on the press there. Westbrook didn't want the 8-second violation. Bazemore comes up with it. Wiggins, eye off the glass. And he doesn't get the roll. And basically, that was his night. Wiggins goes 5 for 20 and 0 for 7 from the three-point line for 14 points. Curry was human tonight. 7 for 25. And 18 points, and of course with a three-point line, 2 for 14. And as you guys said, we'll talk about Curry here, but Draymond Green fouling out with 2:44 left and not having their defensive captain down the stretch really hurt the Golden State Warriors. But let's talk about Curry because he had 11 straight games of 30-plus points. That was a record for a player who was 33 and older, and he surpassed Kobe Bryant on Monday night. But the streak snapped tonight, and the MVP momentum that he had going on is coming to a halt for now. He'll see Jokic on Friday night, but Mully, just a rough night for Steph Curry, especially from the three-point line.
Yeah, and it was a concerted effort by the Wizards to take away the three-point shot. Steph got some good looks he usually makes, and they were very physical with him. They used length and strength on him, but this was good news for the Wizards. I'd say it's horrible news for the Denver Nuggets.
For sure. And, you know, it's going to be games like this. The run that Steph had been on these last few games, getting 30 points a night, has been impressive. He ran into a team that did a great job with throwing different bodies at him and showing them different defenses. So it's going to be nice like this. The bench did a great job with picking up the slack as well. So it's a lot to take away from this game, but it's definitely a tough loss.
Got great contributions from Kelly Oubre, Jordan Poole, Kent Bazemore. Yeah. And a lot of those was because of the defense that Steph was drawing, was opening up those guys.
No doubt. Steph Curry joined Rex Chapman on his podcast and made a bold proclamation. That's something we will get into a little later. Made a bold proclamation about the MVP award. But let's talk about Bradley Beal because he's chasing Steph Curry for the scoring title now. They're going back and forth. Curry averaging 31.4 points per game. Bradley Beal at 31.1. And he struggled for the most part tonight. 8 for 21, but buckets down the stretch. Darrell finished with 29 points and 10 rebounds and forced that foul on Draymond Green to foul him out. And he made the plays down the stretch to win this game, just like he did April 9th.
Bonte, he made it hard on Wiggs. Did a great job with using his length, and disrupting his shot. And that's the reason why he shot 8 for 21. But he found a way. He got to the free throw line and kind of got him going. That was almost half his points. So he's a tough coverage. But I thought Wiggins and the whole team did a great job with trying to make every shot tough on him.
Similar to Steph Curry, you can guard Bradley Beal very well strategically, individually. He's still going to get his points. Yep. 8 for 21 from the field, but 11 for 11 from the field. More importantly, when they needed him to come through, that star backcourt of Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal were there to get the Wizards the win.
Just like they did April 9th, they're chasing her. Beal and Westbrook down the stretch, taking that basketball game over. And look, the Warriors were in it because of Kelly Oubre Jr. coming off the bench for the second straight night. In the
you look at this game, they're missing 3 of their 5 starters. You're thinking, I don't know, this is the second best team in the league as far as record-wise, and they showed it, but the Sixers hung in there. Can you take anything away from that?
Well, yeah, I think it's another example, Aim. This team is really very, very resourceful. Most times you would suspect that a team missing, 3 of their 5 starters, are going to accept their probable fate. But right from the beginning, this team had a ton of fight in them. And when you have a player of the caliber of Joel who goes out as determined as you saw him tonight, you always have a chance. And if you surround him with just some decent play, you're probably going to be there late in the game. And then obviously that was the case.
We saw that Danny Green contributing, Matisse Thybulle out there. There's a lot of different guys. Furkan Korkmaz coming to play. But you mentioned him, Joel Embiid, 38 points. He shot 62% from the field. That includes that long-range bomb at the end that almost went down that would have tied this one. He made several threes. Free throws, obviously he's 7 for 9. That's actually low in the lower number for him, but 17 rebounds. He was Euro-stepping. He was draining the three. It's almost like what he can't do, but he single-handedly, he tried to win this game for the Sixers.
He really did. I mean, it looked like the Phoenix Suns had the game well in hand, and then they don't want to foul him, so he gets a field goal, and now he makes a three. He comes up with play after play. But I'm with Ala and Zoo. That play with 0.8 of a second off a free throw. I mean, this guy, for me, he has a litany of like legendary plays. That for me is up on my top shelf.
Yeah, it was something, that sequence at the end. You thought it was the dagger with Devin Booker. Embiid said, not so fast, my friends. Let's check in with the gentleman you just mentioned that called the game. That would be Mark Zumoff and Ala Abdenabi. And guys, I mean, I almost lost my breath here when that shot was up in the air and then went down and back out. What did you see from Joel Embiid's last second shot at the end?
So let's talk about it. First of all, you have the blue snow here where Chris Paul misses a free throw in crunch time. As Ala said, you fully expect he makes two, puts the game away, 93% from the line for the season. But the amazing thing was that you're taking a basketball. This is not a baseball that you're throwing to home plate. This is a basketball, and you're grabbing the rebound, and you have very little time. 0.8 of a second is very little time. And then his ability to release it and even have a chance at it, hitting the backboard and twirling around the rim. I mean, it was stupefying. And we're talking, by the way, about a miss.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing that's interesting is it's called a baseball pass, literally because you throw it like a baseball. But the problem is you're taught that as in basketball practice to pass it for another guy for a layup, to get them a shot, not for you to have an option as at a shot, I should say. But take a look at that. The catch with two hands, all in one motion, the presence of mind to give it a shot. Why not? And it almost fell for him, almost.
Oh, the place would have gone bananas. He would have gone bananas. It would have been the shot of the year. It's still, one of those shots that we're still talking about. And as you mentioned, it's a miss. I guess maybe the basketball looks like a baseball in his hands, but what a night for him. And also defensively, talk about the Sixers' defensive effort. This is a high-scoring Sun squad, specifically Devin Booker. Yeah, he got his towards the end, but they really kept him in check for most of the game.
And I think the lion's share of the credit goes to Matisse Thybulle, who was on Booker throughout most of the game. But I think Coach put it best that Chris Paul, first of all, he's the orchestrator. Yep. When he has the ball, literally everything else seems to revolve around him. He has complete control of the game at all times. But Ala, he sensed the need in this game to be a little less playmaker and a lot more scoring, and scoring he did.
Yeah, he was a little more Zubin Mehta today, right?
Yes.
The conductor. Kids, Google that and look him up. But, yeah, no, he was really, really good, and he's the one who set the tone for them. In other words, we talked about it during the broadcast. He's your coach on the floor. You don't even need to walk over to the sideline and ask for what play. Chris Paul has got that all under control, and what a luxury to have a guy like him, especially on the road in a close ball game.
Absolutely. They've got the best record on the road in the league. In games like this, you can see why. All right, guys, thanks so much. We'll see you on Monday.
You got it.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take our first time out here on Sixers Post-Game Live. We're going to hear from Doc Rivers. I know he was thinking something during Joel Embiid's shot. We're going to get his thoughts on that as well as the game as they now head out on the road. Stick with us here on Sixers Post-Game Live, brought to you by Cure Auto Insurance.
Sixers Post-Game Live is presented by Cure Auto Insurance. See how much